Okay, so I'm re-recording this video because I realized I was rambling for too long. So, point is, I watched a video about the Gen Z career apocalypse, which gave me a lot of insight about like Gen Z people trying to get a job, and I have a mixed opinion about this. Now, I am Gen Z, I enjoy brain rot and so on, yeah, and before I finished high school, I had worked at least like 7 or 8 different jobs. Now, I'm not talking about like, oh, like Uncle Tommy needs some help building this shed. He's gonna give you $20. I'm not talking about those. I mean jobs, like, like shifts and so on. That's what I'm talking about. Now the thing is, I hated those fucking jobs. I admit, I fucking hated them. They weren't pleasant, but they did pay, and they didn't pay well, but they did pay. And the more discussion isn't exactly about like the economy and the payment for your work and so on. It's morely about the relationship between the Gen Z people who want to get a job and the people who hire these people, like the Gen Z. And I have a mixed opinion about this. Do I think Gen Z is lazy? Yes, I do think that Gen Z is lazy. Maybe it's because I just worked a lot. I'm not trying to put myself in a high horse like, oh, I had it rough or whatever. Child soldiers in Africa had it rough. I'm not gonna be talking about them either. But point being, I worked more jobs than most other people did, and it still fucking amazes me that I meet people to this day who are 20, 22, 25 even. I met these people who have never had a job in their fucking lives. They have not signed a contract. What the fuck? How does that even work? Like, oh, I can't get a job. Motherfucker, have you tried? The jobs that I got didn't fucking fall on a silver platter. Yeah, maybe I used some maybe I had one job that I got into, and then I used literally my ability to gain connections within the people in that job. And like, oh, this person knows this person. Oh, this is like tied to video editing and so on. That's literally how I started like video editing as a professional career, pretty much. I literally went up to some people and asked about it, like, oh yeah, the video editing, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, by the way, I work for these people. I was like, oh cool, can you give me their phone number or something like that? Like we can, like, oh, if your skills are useful, maybe we can use shit like that. Just basically fucking like mingling in the workforce and so on. So that most of it was just like tied to like one job, and all the other jobs I got was literally from there. So yeah, I mean it's complicated, but the point being, I do think that Gen Z is pretty fucking lazy, and over my career of working actual jobs instead of being like self-employed and quoted business, I have had fucking, I don't know, at least 18 different Gen Z colleagues. I have not met one with a decent work ethic. Not fucking one. All of them were pretty fucking lazy. It's like, oh yeah, I need to go on a smoke break. Motherfucker, we just started working 30 minutes ago. Our shift started, and this guy's already going fucking smoking some vapes or heats or whatever the fuck they're doing. Yeah, it's like zero work ethic at all. Always on their fucking phones. The only time I grab my phone is literally when we're on a fucking like food break or something like that. And one story I'm gonna go into is that I realized, and I try to like change these people. Like try to. I don't really know how to put it. But point is, I went to a manager who, I mean, I wouldn't say I had a great relationship with, but it was pretty decent. Yeah, I could swindle some things and shit, pull some strings. Yeah, it's like, look, I've always been a reliable worker. You know that. I know that. I know my worth too. And the thing is, we're getting paid per hour. The problem is, we're spending all fucking day here, and not only are we spending all day here, you are spending all your fucking time here. It's because you need to manage our asses. But you don't really need to, because I already know how things work around here. So how about I just do the things, and when we do the job, we're done. Just give us a list of shit we need to do. We do it by whenever we're done, and we go home. So instead of spending 8 hours a day here, we spend like only 3, sometimes even just 2 hours, and we're done. Like, because the work is just stretched out for no fucking reason. And the thing is, yeah, during those times when I had to get most of the work done, I was doing 80% of the work. I won't lie, out of fucking 3, 4, 5 people sometimes, I was doing 80% of the work. They're just sitting around fucking eating, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Elvis and get some snack. Like, what the fuck you mean? Elvis is a shop in this country. Why did I have to explain? No one's watching this. But okay, whatever. Point being, yeah, like I do 80% of the fucking work, physical back-breaking labor, and we're done by 2 hours. I would rather do that than sit around and do 20% of my work capacity to be quote fair, so everyone does their fair share, and sit there till fucking 8 p.m. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I don't understand this. And yes, I do think that Gen Z has a big problem of expectations and also work ethic. Like, they expect like fucking like summer job vacations. What the fuck are you talking about? And it still amazes me that there are people here who are 25 years old and never had a fucking job in their lives. What? They're living off their parents' allowance. What the fuck is an allowance? I lived off talon and 50 cents for juice until they stopped giving me 50 cents, so that was cool. But point being, I do think that Gen Z is pretty fucking lazy. But then again, also the managers are kind of stupid because, they're getting old and shit. They don't understand how this culture and the internet works and so on. And the moment they see anyone who's Gen Z, they immediately write them off as lazy, stupid, and arrogant. That's what they do. Now, I am Gen Z. I am pretty stupid and I am pretty arrogant, but one thing I'll give myself is I can be pretty consistent with my work. That's one thing I'm willing to pat my back on. It's like I'm relatively consistent. I can do a good amount of like work blocks every single day consistently. I may not enjoy it all the time, but I still fucking do it. Probably because of like work anxiety and so on, but that's a different topic. My biggest fucking problem is that they immediately write anyone off as Gen Z and they don't give them opportunities. Now that does fucking piss me off because there are people who want to get jobs and they just can't because, oh, you're Gen Z, you don't have an experience and you need this fucking degree and so on, which is also another topic. I barely finished high school. I have only a high school diploma and an art school diploma that I have not even seen. The moment I got it, I gave it to my parents, and since that day, I still haven't seen it. I have not used it. I have not done anything with it. I'm pretty sure I don't even have it on my fucking CV back in the day that I used to apply for jobs because it was useless. That is it. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I earn above average income while working from home with below average expenses. Alone. Living alone is the most expensive path you can do, and so far it's fucking fine. I'm doing, relatively well, and that's the difference between like the job market and the internet. It's like you can do other things besides getting a job. Yeah, it may be harder in the beginning, and thank God that I thought about it before, because if I started thinking about that shit only now, it would be way more fucking difficult. But yeah, so point being, managers hate the Gen Z because they think they're fucking lazy. Gen Z hates the managers because they think they're dipshits and don't understand anything. But I do think that 60% of the blame lies on, technically Gen Z, but then again, Gen Z was raised the way that the generation before raised them. So yeah, technically I think most of the blame lies in Gen Z, if that a lot of them just don't have the initial they just expect too much. It's a shitty fucking job. They're called entry jobs for a reason. They're not fucking pleasant. You just fucking do them and then things take off from there. Now, if you stay in the same fucking job for 20 years, that's on you. I'm sorry, but if you want to stay in that job forever then and complain about it, then that's your fucking problem. But like, I had that job, horrible job. From there, I got different jobs that were less horrible, some more horrible, some less, because I was only back then looking at the pay amount. So that was pretty much it, which, whatever, it is what it is. But it indirectly stirred me into the direction of video editing. Now, I think I told the story before how I started video editing professionally, but it all basically stemmed from me making a couple connections at my old workplace, which firstly got me into like realizing, oh, video editing is an actual job. Like, oh, this guy actually needs a video editor for this project. I'm gonna do it for free. Don't expect anything. So just to build up some good like relations and so on. Like, I don't know, a year or two goes past, and then like he just calls me up like, yo, we have this huge project at this blah blah blah. We need extra video editors. You've clutched in before for me. I think you would be a great fit. We just need to settle you in, train you, and so on. It's like, okay, cool. And the training sessions, quote, with training was an absolute fucking joke. There was nothing going on there. It might as well not even have been written down. Did that, then I did TV work. I did like some sports highlights and stuff like that. And then I started getting my own clients. Well, I was doing that parallel with that. And yeah, that's pretty much how it went, the shortened version of it. And all that stand is because I just gritted my teeth and did the fucking job I had to do, even though I hated it. And I think a lot of Gen Z, especially like just my age people, just like they don't want to do that, either through like, because they expect more, or maybe it's because of arrogance, or maybe it's because like they're so fucking brainwashed into like thinking that starting a business is the solution to everything. Let me fucking tell you, I think a good chunk of people would be fine working a job if they didn't really know that you can start a business. But I don't mean fine in the way like, oh, they just obey and they're silence it. I think a lot of people just like, oh, I will never work a 9 to 5. I've met these people. I'll never work a 9 to 5 job in my life because I want to start a business and do that. Guess what? Fucking couple of years go by, they're still where they're like, quote, oh yeah, I'm considering starting my business. But they just use it as an excuse not to get a job. Get a fucking job. And then start a business doing that. If you need some cash flow, don't ask your parents to fucking use a credit card. Just actually just fucking get a job and save up. Yeah, it will just also build up work ethic. These people talk about discipline for your business and so on, but can't fucking stomach an 8-hour shift at a fucking regular job place. I don't understand these people. Now, there's also the type of people who just don't want to get a job and just want to live off their parents' money as long as possible. Now, I kind of get it. Why? Because who the fuck wants to work? Who the fuck wants to do anything? But then they're like, that's probably how these people who are 25 and never had a fucking job in their lives come to be. They just sit around and do fucking nothing. And they realize, oh, I'm getting kicked out of my house. I need to get a job. And then they don't know how to fucking do anything because they spend all the time playing fucking CSGO or League of Legends or whatever the fuck. So, yeah. That's pretty much my rant on it. I don't really have much anything else to say. The previous video I recorded before this exact same topic, it was just too nonsensical, so I had to refilm it, and that's why I'm talking about it again. Although you don't know it because it's the first video you see it. So yeah, the video that I watched is the Gen Z career apocalypse. I suggest you watch it. It's called, the creator is Ray Like Sunshine. First time ever seeing this video, pretty good. So I suggest people watch it if they're interested in it. It's just an interesting discussion in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much it. See you.